Hey everyone, how's it going? We're really glad to have all of you here from around the world. If you're new, welcome to the family. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So, Yemen has decided to stand firmly with the Palestinian cause, showing support for the oppressed people of Gaza. At the same time, Grad rockets have reportedly been launched from the Daraa region in Syria toward the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. These two events are extremely important, and the common link between them is the Israeli occupation. What's really going on the Yemeni front, and what's happening on the Syrian side? Let's start with Yemen. Brigadier General Yahya Sari, the spokesperson for the Yemeni armed forces, announced that Yemeni drones had been launched to target Ben Gurion airport in occupied Jaffa. That's a big development and shows continued support from Yemen for the Palestinian people. Interestingly, this comes at the same time as an important UN Security Council meeting where Algeria has presented a resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. Most US allies, including the UK and France, supported the resolution. But the US, despite all its talk about sending aid to Gaza, protecting civilians, and negotiating for a ceasefire and prisoner release, ended up vetoing the resolution. It's as if the American veto is no different from the Israeli one. No separation between the two. But here's the real story. There is a kind of veto from the Arab and Islamic world, and it's coming from Yemen. And no, that's not an exaggeration. Right now, the only Arab or Muslim country actually standing by the Palestinian people, with action, not just words, is Yemen, especially its armed forces. Even though Yemen's been suffering, like when their last remaining aircraft for Hajj flights was destroyed in a strike on Sana'a airport, and their Hodeidah port has been out of service for over a year, they're still determined to support Gaza. So just like there's an American veto, there's now a powerful Yemeni one too, and it's having real impact. Now, when it comes to economic losses, Israel is taking major hits. Yemen has effectively imposed a land, sea and air blockade, affecting Haifa, Ben Gurion Airport, and other strategic points. This pressure is so intense that foreign investors are reportedly pulling out of Israel. Yahya Sari also reminded the Muslim world, especially with the Hajj season and the day of Arafah coming up, that we should all pray for the people of Gaza. Now, on to the second big story. The fear and panic that spread across Israel after Grad rockets were fired from Daraa in southern Syria toward the Golan Heights, right near the buffer zone that Israel controls. At this point, Israel basically has full control over the Golan, Mount Hermon and Quneitra, so most parts of Syria are now dangerously close to Israeli occupation forces. Israel's defense minister blamed either Syrian President Ahmad al-Sharaa or Abu Mohammed al-Julani for the rocket attacks. Grad rockets aren't like Katyushas, they're bigger and have much longer range. What's even more surprising is who claimed responsibility for the rocket launches, a group called the Martyr Mohammed Deif Brigades. Named after the leader of the Al-Qassam Brigades who was killed in January 2025. We looked into this group and found out it was formed on May 31, 2025, just a few days before these rockets were launched. So the question is, do Palestinian resistance groups even have access to Grad missiles? Sadly, in most cases, no. They usually have much smaller, shorter range rockets. So what's the deal here? Some are saying this could be a setup by Israel to create a pretext for escalating tensions with Syria and justify a full takeover of the south, claiming they're doing it to protect the Druze or other communities. Another theory is that the Mohammed Deif brigades are backed by either Hezbollah or Iran's Revolutionary Guard. That would mean a new and significant resistance movement is forming inside Syria, aiming to challenge Israel's occupation. This theory gained traction after President Ahmad al-Sharaa recently told an Israeli newspaper that he had no problem at all with Israeli forces. He even offered peace, handed over the remains of Israelis killed in southern Lebanon, and gave up important documents related to Israeli spy Eli Cohen. He basically said he's ready to be completely cooperative with Israel and wants dialogue under the banner of political pragmatism. So now, we could be looking at a major confrontation between Syria and Israel, either in the Golan or even deeper inside Israel. Just a few days ago, the Israeli chief of staff was reportedly touring around Damascus with zero resistance from Syrian forces. It's like the Syrian regime is now working hand in hand with Israeli occupation. So if Ahmad al-Sharaa is behind these Grad rocket attacks, we can expect a swift and heavy Israeli retaliation on Syria. But if the second scenario is true, that there's real resistance building up against Israel and against the current Syrian regime, then we're looking at a whole new front in this conflict. And it could be led by Hezbollah or Iran's Revolutionary Guard, launching a serious campaign